Hello, Marians! It's time to learn! Hi, before we start, I would like to acknowledge first myself. I am Miss Fileota Jessie Millena, and I will be your teacher for this day. Now, let's talk about the understanding confidence interval estimates for the population mean. Before that, let us know first the meaning of the confidence interval. Confidence interval is a probability that a parameter will fall between a set of values. First, I will show you the normal curve. It is a bell shape. It is centered at 0. Both the average and the median are 0 and the ST is 1. The x-axis is measured in standard units, also called z-scores. The area under the curve is 100%. In the left side, it's called lower confidence limit, which is the -1, -2, -3, and etc. While the right side, it is the upper confidence limit, which is the +1, +2, +3, and etc. And before that, we should know first the formula of the confidence interval. This is the formula of confidence interval, open parentheses x bar minus z times standard deviation over square root of n, close parentheses to open parentheses x bar divided by z times standard deviation over square root of n. But we have another option to solve the confidence interval for us not to struggle. This is the x bar minus z alpha sub half, population standard deviation over square root of n, less than mean less than x bar plus z alpha sub half, standard deviation over square root of n. To get the confidence interval, we should have first the confidence level table, and this is the table. But let us know first what is the margin of error. Margin of error is E is equals to Z alpha sub half, population standard deviation over square root of n. Z sub alpha half, it is the confidence coefficient, and this symbol, it is the population standard deviation, N stand for sample size, CL, it is the confidence level, CI, it is the confidence interval, and E, it is the margin of error. Now let's go for the example number 1. Example number 1, confidence level of 95%. But before that, we need to substitute first the 95% to decimal. So let us take back to the confidence level table. So the 90% will be 0.90. Now let's find to the table what is the C sub alpha half. And this is the 1.645. Now that we have the C sub alpha half, I will give you the given. For the x bar, we have 87. For standard deviation, we have 9. And for the sample size, which is the n, we have 50. Now, let's find first the margin of error. E is equals to Z sub alpha half, population standard deviation over square root of n. Z sub alpha half, it is the 1.645. The standard deviation is 9 and the sample size is 50. Now, let's solve this problem using scientific calculator. The answer is E is equals to 2.093743179 or 2.09. After that, we can solve the confidence interval, which is the lower limit and the upper limit. Let us solve first the lower limit. LL is equals to x bar minus E. X bar is the 87, and the margin of error, it is the 2.09. 87 minus 2.9 is equals to 84.91. Let us proceed. Let us solve now the upper limit. UL is equals to X bar plus E. X bar is 87 and E is 2.09. 87 plus 2.09 is equals to 89.09. And lastly, for the conclusion, 84.91 less than mean less than 89.09. So the confidence interval is between 84.91 and 89.09. That's all for today. I hope you guys understand the confidence interval estimates for the population mean. Thank you for listening and be happy.